Hey, it's Mel and today I'm filming my Booktubeathon 2016 TBR. I'm really excited to do another one of these because it's been a while and I really love them every time. Last time I did a summer one of these I read like 9 books, so I'm pumped. This year's Booktubeathon is from the 18th to the 24th. I come back from a beach trip that day, so that should be interesting. And if you didn't know, the Booktubeathon has some challenges for dictating what you're gonna read, so I have chosen books accordingly. So the first book was to read a book with yellow on the cover, and for that one I chose All of the Above by James Dawson. This obviously has yellow on the cover and I really like the cover. This is a book about a whole lot of things like eating disorders and sexuality and hot bass players, you know, just the usual stuff. I realised that I own quite a lot of books with yellow on the cover that I have not read, and I just chose an easy one. The next challenge would be to read a book only after sunset, so when it's dark outside, and don't have a book for that because that's not a book one, but probably a short one. I think last year it was read a book without putting it down and I managed to do that, so I mean I'm almost impressed with what I managed to do even though it seems physically impossible. So moving on to the next challenge, that would be read a book that you learned about through Booktube, and for that one I chose An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. And the vast majority of my books I hear about first from Booktube, but this is one that I specifically picked up because certain booktubers were talking about it, so I felt like it was more appropriate, and it's been on my recent TBR pile for a little while and I should probably read it, so I'm going to, possibly. The next challenge was a shockingly difficult one, and that was read a book by a favourite author. And I have a lot of favourite authors, but I seem to have the tendency to read books by my favourite authors as soon as I get them. So I only really had one, and it's a bit longer than the others. So I chose Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. This is pretty much the only book that I could have chosen, and it's hardcover and pretty long, so not promising. And this is about Norse mythology and demigods and stuff. The next challenge was to read a book and then watch the movie for the adaptation for that, and I just got a book and a movie that are the same thing, and I really wanted to read it this month anyway, and that is Carol by Patricia Highsmith and the movie. And I love the fact that these two covers sort of match because it just makes me really happy. I heard some people just raving about this book, and the movie's kind of a big deal, so this is gonna happen. And the last challenge is the same challenge every year, and that is read 7 books, and that wasn't 7 books, so I got a couple short-ish books to round out the number, and those are Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat, which is about a slave and prince and romance eventually, but not in the first book. If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, which is just about this trans girl living her life and becoming the new kid in her school and romance. And lastly, City of Lies by Ramita Navai. This is a really interesting book. It's set in the city and it has all of these different characters from all over the place, and they all have such different lives, but they all coexist. And it's based on this group of interviews, so it's based in reality. So those were the books that I'm planning on reading in the Booktubeathon 2016. I'd love to know what you're reading if you're participating, and it's always fun, so you should just go for it. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!